Have you ever had pets? Maybe a dog or a cat or birds or a monkey? These are some of the common pets that people have. But have you ever had an unusual pet like a crocodile or perhaps a ladybird or an ant? Well, this story is about an unusual pet. The girl in the story has a pet snake. Yes, you heard me right. A snake. I'm sure you would like to know where she found the snake and how she looked after it. Then do watch this video. I will read and explain one part of the story to you today. I will draw your attention to the new words and I will tell you the meanings of the words and show you how you can use the words in sentences. I will help you to learn the spellings of tricky words, and I have lots and lots of oral questions for you to answer so that you can test your comprehension skills. And at the end of the lesson, I have a few multiple choice questions for you to do. You could write them down. I will do the second part of the lesson tomorrow. Hi everyone, I'm Milane from English Made Easy. This channel is dedicated to creating easy and interesting lessons so that you can improve your English in an enjoyable way. If at the end of the lesson you feel that it was an enjoyable one and also that it benefited you, then do hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. So let's begin with this story about that unusual pet. It's called Red Eye. What you can see in front of you on your screen is the picture of a snake, and it is a garter snake because Red Eye was a garter snake. And here are the new words that you would be learning in this part of the lesson. They may not all be new to you. You may know most of them or maybe even all of them. So it would be a kind of revision for you. But if you have never heard of these words before, then it will be new to you and you would be learning a new word. So let's start with the first new word that you will come across in this lesson, this part of the lesson. Slashes. That's the word, slashes. And there is a picture there to show you what I mean. And I'm going to ask you to try and guess what the meaning of the word slashes is. The sentence is, draw slashes to separate the words in your sentence. So what do you think the word slashes means? Let's see if you guessed it right. Slashes are marks that look like slanting lines. See? Slanting. That's the meaning of the word slashes. Here's your second new word. You can see a picture on your screen. And the word is venomous, pronounced as venomous. The child was rushed to hospital after he was bitten by a venomous scorpion. That's a picture of a scorpion there. And the scorpion was venomous. So what do you think the word venomous means? Give it a try. Let's see if you got it right. Venomous means full of venom or poison. Venom means poison. So that's the meaning of venomous. Let's see the third new word. You can see a picture there. And the third new word is escape artist. They had to keep a close watch on him because He was known to be an escape artist. So, what do you think these words mean? Escape artist. Let's see if you could guess what it meant. Escape artist is a performer who can escape from difficult traps, or escape artists are performers who can escape from difficult traps. And here we go to the next new word, which is an easy one, I think. And the word is terrible. They witnessed a terrible accident. So, what do you think the word terrible means? You have a picture to guide you, you have a sentence to guide you. What does it mean? Let's see if you got it right. Terrible means very bad. And there are just 4 words that I found in this part of the lesson that might need your attention. And now we will pay attention to the spellings of the following words, the words that you are going to find in this part of the lesson, the first part of the lesson. Afraid. Please pay attention to the word and how it is spelled. Especially. Beautiful. Slashes. Venomous. Nonsense. Handled. Properly. Remembered. Coffee. Fascinating. Tongue. Terrible. And I hope you have also been listening to the way the words are pronounced. Now let's go to the first part of the story. The name of the story is Red Eye. Do you like snakes? Here's a story about a girl called Cindy who had a snake. Not a paper snake, but a real one. My name is Cynthia Ann, but I am called Cindy. I am 9 years old and have a sister, Emily. She is 12 years old and she is really silly. She is afraid of spiders, white mice, frogs, and snakes, especially snakes. But I think snakes are really great. Now, let me see if you have understood this part of the lesson well. I'm going to ask you some oral questions and let's see if you can get them right. If you can get all of them right, that means you have understood this part of the lesson well. Let's begin. Cynthia Ann was also called Cindy. Cynthia Ann was dash years old. 9. Cynthia Ann had a sister. Cynthia Ann's sister was called Emily. Emily was dash years old. 12. Why did Cindy think that her sister was really silly? Cindy thought that her sister was really silly because she was afraid of spiders, white mice, frogs, and snakes. Did Cindy think that snakes were fearsome creatures or not? No, Cindy thought that snakes were great and nothing to be afraid of. Look at the question that's there in the little box. What does Cindy think of Emily? Cindy thinks that Emily is really silly. Let's go forward. One day last summer, when I was visiting my uncle's farm, I found a garter snake. I caught it to take a good close up look. It was as long as my arm and had three pale stripes and orange dots on its body. There were beautiful little blue slashes on its head. I called it Red Eye because it had red eyes. My uncle told me to take it home and keep it as a pet. No, I said, Emily hates snakes. She is afraid of them because she thinks all of them are venomous. Nonsense, said my uncle. A garter snake won't hurt anyone if it is handled properly. And now I'm going to ask you a few questions based only on this part, the part that is in front of you on the screen. What time of the year was it when Cindy visited her uncle? It was summer when Cindy visited her uncle. Where did Cindy find a snake? Cindy found a snake on her uncle's farm. What kind of snake did Cindy find? Cindy found a garter snake. How long was the snake? It was as long as Cindy's arm. How many stripes did the snake have on its body? The snake had three stripes on its body. Pale means not bright. How many dots did it have on its body? It is not mentioned in the story. What color were the dots that the snake had on its body? The snake had orange dots on its body. What did the snake have on its head? The snake had little blue slashes on its head. Why did Cindy call the snake Red Eye? Cindy called the snake Red Eye because it had red eyes. Who told Cindy to take it home and keep it as a pet? Cindy's uncle told her to take it home and keep it as a pet. Why did Cindy hesitate to take the snake home and keep it as a pet? Cindy hesitated because her sister Emily hated snakes. Why did Emily hate snakes? Or why was Emily afraid of snakes? Emily was afraid of snakes because she thought that all of them were venomous, full of venom, poison. Are all snakes venomous? No, all snakes are not venomous. What did Cindy's uncle tell her about a garter snake? Cindy's uncle told her that a garter snake will not hurt anyone if it is handled properly. Let's go to the next part. Oh, Emily wouldn't touch Red Eye, I said. She'd scream and complain and carry on. Then I stopped. I remembered the time Emily had refused to lend me her pocket money for Dad's birthday present. I thought of the time she had reported me for using her hairbrush to brush our dog. On second thoughts, I said, she might learn a lot from Red Eye. So my aunt gave me an empty coffee can and I poked little holes in the plastic lid. The holes were little ones because my aunt told me that snakes are escape artists and can get out of just about anything. Then I took the garter snake home. My mother helped me to find my old fish tank in the garage. It was just the thing for a snake. It was fascinating to watch Red Eye eat. When I put a piece of raw fish in the tank, it would open its mouth very wide and swallow the piece whole. All right, now let's get down to the questions. Only from this part. What did Cindy remember about Emily? There were two things. Cindy remembered that Emily had once refused to lend her pocket money for their father's birthday present. She also remembered the time that Emily had reported her for using her hairbrush to brush their dog. Why did Cindy agree to take the snake home? Cindy agreed to take the snake home because she thought that Emily would learn a lot from Red Eye. How did Cindy take the snake home from her uncle's farm to her house? Cindy used an empty coffee can to take the snake from her uncle's farm to her house. Who gave Cindy that empty coffee can? Cindy's aunt gave Cindy that empty coffee can. Why did Cindy poke little holes in the plastic lid? Cindy poked little holes in the plastic lid so that the snake could breathe. Why were the holes in the lid very tiny? The holes in the lid were very tiny because Cindy's aunt had told her that snakes were escape artists and they could get out of just about anything. So Cindy wanted to prevent the snake from escaping from that empty coffee can. Who helped Cindy to find her old fish tank? Cindy's mother helped her to find her old fish tank. In what way was it fascinating to watch Red Eye eat? Cindy found it fascinating to watch Red Eye eat because when she put a piece of raw fish in the tank, it would open its mouth very wide and swallow the piece whole. Let's move on. Then, for a day or two, you would see a large lump in Red Eye's body. The lump would get smaller and smaller as it went farther and farther down. Emily said it made her sick when I spoke of Red Eye's eating habits during dinner, and once when I showed her the skin it had shed, she started to scream. Emily didn't like Red Eye, but I loved my snake. I know that all snakes stick out their tongues to smell things, but whenever I came around the tank, Red Eye would rise up and stick his tongue out as if to say hello. Then, one day, a terrible thing happened. When I went into my room after school, I noticed that the top of the tank was slightly open. Red Eye was gone. I screamed at the top of we'll stop there because the rest of it is for tomorrow. Let me ask you some questions based on this part only. So after Red Eye ate, you would see a large lump in Red Eye's body. For how long would you be able to see a huge lump in Red Eye's body? The huge lump in Red Eye's body would be visible for a day or two, 1 or 2 days. Why did Emily say it made her sick? Emily said it made her sick when Cindy spoke about Red Eye's eating habits during dinner. Why did Emily once start screaming? Emily once started screaming because Cindy showed her the skin that the snake had shed. Did Emily like Red Eye? No, Emily did not like red eye. Why do snakes stick out their tongues? Snakes stick out their tongues to smell things. Why did Red Eye stick out his tongue when Cindy went close to the tank? Red Eye stuck his tongue out when Cindy went close to the fish tank because he wanted to say hello to her. What was the terrible thing that happened one day? The terrible thing that happened one day was that Red Eye had escaped from the fish tank. How had Red Eye managed to escape from the fish tank? Red Eye had managed to escape from the fish tank because someone had left the top of the tank slightly open. Alright, I hope you got most of those answers right. And if you did not, it just means that you need to read that part of the lesson again. Read it over and over again. Keep reading it so that it makes better sense to you and you remember the facts a little better. And now I have a few multiple choice questions for you to do. Let's see how many of these questions you can get right. Use a rough book and a pen to write your answers down. In doing so, you can check them easily at the end of the exercise. So, are you ready to begin? I have 8 questions, so you can give yourself 8 marks. Let's see how many of these 8 questions you can get right. I mean, I have already gone through all these questions orally, so you should be able to get them all right. So, are you ready? Are you ready with your pen and book? I'm going to count 3 and start. 1, 2, 3. Let's begin. Cynthia Ann was also called Martha, Emily, or Cindy. The answer is Cindy. I hope you got it right. So there's a time limit on each one. We are not going to stall. You're going to try and think of the answer very fast, and in your book, you're going to write 1, 2, or 3. Choose the right option and just write 1, or write 2, or you write 3, whatever you think is right. Shall we proceed? Here's the next one. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Emily was 9 years old, 12 years old, 10 years old. And the answer is 12 years old. I do hope you got it right. Moving on now to the next question. 1, 2, 3. Cindy found a garter snake on her sister's bed, her uncle's farm, the road. Her uncle's farm is the right answer. Are you ready to move on? 1, 2, 3. Emily was afraid of snakes because she had once been bitten by a snake. She thought that all snakes were venomous. She had seen one in the bathroom. And the answer is she thought that all snakes were venomous. Did you get it right? You have to get them all right. I have gone through each and every question orally. Let's move on to the next one. 1, 2, 3. Cindy had once used Emily's hairbrush to clean the steps, weed the garden, brush the dog. And the answer is brush the dog. Got it right? Moving on. 1, 2, 3. The holes in the coffee can were tiny because Cindy did not want the snake to get enough air to breathe. Cindy did not want the snake to escape. Cindy did not want the snake to see her. And the answer is Cindy did not want the snake to escape. Moving on now to the next one. I hope you're ready. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. All snakes stick out their tongues to smell things, lick themselves, check if their tongues are okay. And the answer is smell things. Got it? Isn't this exciting? I'm getting excited. I hope you are also very excited about it. Let's move on. One, two, three. Red Eye escaped from the fish tank because someone left the top of the fish tank open. Emily had broken the fish tank. Cindy had forgotten to close the fish tank. And the right answer is someone had left the top of the fish tank open. Well, friends, how did you like this? I've come to the end of today's lesson. I've come to the end of all the questions. You finished 8 questions, and I really do hope that you got all 8 of them right. Do let me know in the comments below how many of these questions you got right. Did you get 8 on 8? Did you get 7 on 8? I really want to know how you did, so please do that. And you could also watch the video of the lesson, The Big Friendly Giant, this one. It's an interesting one. I'm quite sure that you will enjoy it because it is a sweet little story about a giant who collects dreams. Don't you want to know about it? Don't forget to check it out. And keep revising what you have learned today as it will help you. You know, the trick about learning literature well is that you need to read the lesson over and over again. Learning question and answers by heart really does not help much. You need to read. You need to read again and again and again. It's never enough. Not just once or twice or thrice. You need to read 10 times, 20 times. Keep reading until you know that you can answer any question that comes to you, until you know that you have understood that text thoroughly and there is no doubt about it in your mind. Read it to yourself silently, but also read it aloud because reading aloud also helps. You hear yourself speaking, and that does help. All right, so I'll end here for today, and tomorrow I will bring the next part of the lesson to you. Until then, you have to revise part 1. Until we meet again, Cheerio.